Hello everyone, this is Gail from Gail's Upstairs Studio. I hope you're all doing well. Today I am doing some studio chores, and there's one chore that I'm about to do that I thought might be helpful to people who are trying to figure out how to flatten paintings that they've done on paper that might have buckled or bowed, because that is going to happen. And this is a pretty simple process, but it works very well. So I thought you might find it interesting. First of all, I have several pieces here, and they're not bad, but when you go to mat and frame them, the flatter they are, the better it is. So these are all watercolor, done on watercolor paper, and this one is acrylic, done on acrylic paper. And the process works the same for all of them. The first thing I have done is lay down a towel. This is something I figured out a while ago. The one problem with doing this is that you're going to be wetting the back of your pages, and it's going to continue to buckle because you're wetting the surface. And when you go to turn it over, sometimes you can lay part of your, especially when you're working with watercolor, you can lay part of the painted page in the water if it's on like a hard surface like that. But the towel helps to absorb any water that might come out past the page, so you don't run the risk of smudging what you've put down quite so much. So we're going to turn this over. And I have a spray bottle here that just has water in it. And you're going to try to get a nice even coat over the pages. And to make sure that that is all even across, I'm going to take a paintbrush. It's just an old wash brush, and evenly get the water everywhere. And there's no puddles, and it's absorbing nicely into the back of the paper. But if it is, if you do have too much water on it and you're trying to make it even with no puddles, you can at that point go over it with paper towel if you want. Do you see how that's buckling up? That's what you want. I'm noticing a little unevenness down here, so I'm going to go ahead and apply some more water. Now at this point, I am going to use some very inexpensive cellulose watercolor paper that I've had for a long time. I use this basically just for this project now, but I've used this same pile of paper for the same project for a long time, so that's a good thing. I'm going to take the two biggest ones here. And what you're going to do is lay this down and turn this over and lay it on top, and then put another piece on top of it. Now I am doing several pages today, so I'm going to repeat this process. I'm going to be putting another wet piece on top of this and continue until I get the stack done. This is the last painting I'm going to do today, and this is the last sheet of paper. Now I have a nice stack ready to go. This is the base of a book press that my husband made me a couple of years ago that I use when I make handmade sketchbooks. But it also works wonderfully for this process. You can also use books, and if you have a lot of heavy books, it's going to do the same exact thing. But I have this, so I'm going to use it. And I am just laying my stack of papers evenly in the middle. And now I'm going to take the top plate and place it down. It's going to make a noise. These are the washers that go on it. And then I'm going to put these screws on and I'll be right back. And I think we're about set. And what I've done is I've tightened these down so that there's pressure and they're pressed inside here. And this is where having big books would do the same thing. You're just looking to keep pressure on them so they'll stay flat while they're re-drying. And this next part is the hardest part of the whole process, and it is you have to wait. When you're doing just a couple of pieces, 24 hours will do it just fine. When I'm doing a stack like this, I'll usually leave it for 3 or 4 days. So I will see you back in 3 or 4 days and we'll see how we did. Hello everyone, I am back. It is 2 days later. And sorry about the lighting, it's a little different, it's a little shadowy because I'm filming this section of it at night. As I said, it's been 2 days. I've already taken the washers and everything off, and it's time to lift up, and it's going to make noises. And let's see what we have. Actually, I'm going to take this stack off and I'm going to move this out of the way. Okay. So if you remember, we sandwiched every piece of wet painting between 2 sheets of paper. So take the top off. And here is one, and very nice and flat. I'm going to hold it this way. I don't know if you can tell, but the buckles are gone on that one. Okay. This one is a little different because it's acrylic, so it didn't stick. None of the paint came off, but just the nature of it, it stuck to it a little bit. That is nice and flat, way nicer. And let's see. Very good. Very nice. And this nice pink one. And honestly, this particular one I painted over a year ago. It has been sitting in the drawer, warped for over a year, and it still came out very nicely. I don't know if it's coming off on camera how nicely they have flattened, but let's see if we can put them in a pile, and you can see they're nice and flat. Oh, that's a pretty good shot. And so now when I go to mat and frame them, it'll be a lot easier because they'll already be flat and ready to go. Well, I hope this was a useful video for you, and I will see you next time.